Hello, my name is John Wiseman, and I'd like to briefly share some information with you about my recently published book, Hope and Courage in the Climate Crisis, Wisdom and Action in the Long Emergency. This book explores ideas and learning from a wide range of perspectives and traditions, which can help us face the climate crisis with wisdom, hope, and courage. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that I live on the unceded land of the Wurundjeri people and pay my respects to elders past, present, and emerging. My decision to write this book has been sparked by growing awareness that even the most rapid climate action may now be insufficient to prevent severe and irreversible social and ecological damage. The most recent IPCC climate science update reminds us yet again that accelerating the transition to a just and resilient zero carbon future clearly remains humanity's most urgent task. The actions required to achieve this goal are all well known. Lowering energy demand by reducing consumption and improving energy efficiency, ending the use of fossil fuels, and drawing down CO2 emissions in ways which preserve and strengthen biodiversity. While these actions certainly require a huge shift in global economic priorities, the opportunities and benefits from a rapid, just transition far outweigh the costs. There are many promising signs that the transition to a zero carbon economy is well underway. Governments in Europe, the United States, and China are beginning to demonstrate a deeper understanding of the speed and scale of climate action now required. Investors are starting to shift trillions of dollars from fossil fuels to renewables. Legal actions requiring governments and business to declare and address the full extent of climate risk are having growing impact. These are all encouraging signs. Scientific evidence about global warming trends already locked in, including in the most recent IPCC climate science report, is now, however, crystal clear. Human beings and all other species are now on a journey into an increasingly hostile, unfamiliar world of more frequent and severe fires, floods, and storms. This awareness is a source of deep distress for many people, including many friends and colleagues passionately committed to decisive climate action. The second crucial challenge is therefore to address the question, what ideas and learning can help us navigate a harsh climate future with defiant hope and radical courage? Defiant hope means staying sharply focused on the possibility, not the guarantee, that we can still find pathways to a just and resilient, safe climate future. Radical courage means finding the strength to continue this vital work while being fully aware that the task is becoming tougher every day. It's been fascinating to discover in my many hundreds of conversations with climate science and climate activist colleagues, the wide range of ideas and stories and examples which they draw on to sustain their work. This book therefore explores and shares ideas and learning about hope and courage in challenging times from many different sources. From climate scientists and activists, psychologists, philosophers and historians, artists and writers, Indigenous, faith-based and spiritual traditions. Here, I'd just like to briefly mention some of the sources of inspiration and of defiant and courageous hope, which I find particularly powerful. The unflinching honesty of climate scientists in speaking truth to power. The determination and tenacity of many millions of climate emergency and climate justice activists all around the world. Paying close and respectful attention to Indigenous and First Nation wisdom about healing and caring for country. The disruptive and transformational creativity and imagination of artists and writers, farmers and engineers, designers and inventors. Learning from a wide range of secular and spiritual traditions about impermanence and interdependence, regeneration, and compassion. And the comfort and delight we can still find in the astonishing, fragile beauty of life on earth. Many of us find our strongest sources of resilience and replenishment in art and poetry and music. Others in sharing our joys and sorrows with family and friends. And others, such as Rachel Carson, author of Silent Spring, in walking in the mountains, in the bush, or by the ocean. Silent Spring was in fact the first book I opened when I began this project, so I'd like to leave you with this quote from Carson about the healing power of nature. Those who contemplate the beauty of the earth find reserves of strength that will endure as long as life lasts. There is symbolic as well as actual beauty in the migration of the birds, the ebb and flow of the tides, the folded bud ready for the spring. There is something infinitely healing in the repeated refrains of nature, the assurance that dawn comes after night and spring after the winter. Thank you.